Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to Mullin It Over episode 5. We are live from Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. And let me tell you, folks, I've been here a few times, but Tommy Cash joining us on Mullin It Over for the first time. He's never been here before.
Nope.
So this is the first time for Tommy. This is an honest review here from Tommy. You're always going to get an honest review from Tommy. So.
Yeah.
So here we are at Benchwarmers. I want to first of all thank Brandon Banks Shearer for the invitation, for coming out here. After the first review of the high scores, you know, it started to catch on a little bit, and he invited us out. And I've been here a few times. I love this place. And so I thought it'd be a really good time for me to be able to come in here and share what I love about this place. And ironically enough, I'm trying new things tonight, things that I've never tried before. So there's some things in there that I've had, the fries, the cheese curds, but yeah, I had to go with the hangover fries tonight. And I also wanted to give these babies a try. I've been looking at them on the menu. They're up on the board, and I've been eyeballing them every time I come in here for about the last week. Duck bacon and sweet corn wontons with fiery ginger sauce.
Those look quacktastic.
I'm just saying, I was eyeballing those things for about the last week and a half. I had to come in here and give them a try. He extended the invitation, so it was an excuse for me to come try them and give these new things a try and introduce it to the audience. So thank you to Brandon for the invitation. First of all, if you've never been to Benchwarmers, they obviously have taken over where the old Megan's Alpine used to be, okay? So, and it's nothing like what Megan's Alpine used to be. First of all, it's very much more updated. Nothing against what the Alpine was, but it was a little outdated. Felt like you stepped into the 70s every time you stepped in there. So it's very nice to see the updated decor in here. And it's a sports bar. I mean, look behind me, Ride the Pine, come on. It is a sports bar through and through, and there's TVs everywhere, all around you. Tuned into the Indians game here on my right, watching Cookie Carrasco throw a one-run game right now for the Indians. They're up 8-1. And you can, I mean, there's TVs all around you. So during the Cavs run, they had a little bit of a promotion going on here. So they've got all kinds of different stuff going on during the games. So it's definitely a sports-themed bar. One thing I do want to tell people, it's 10 o'clock at night. This is a little later than what we're usually doing our podcasts. But they're not usually open. The dining room is usually not open at 10 o'clock at night. So thank you to the staff here for being so accommodating tonight and allowing us to come in here and sample the food and give it the review after hours. Because first of all, it allows us to, you know, not bug anybody if they're in here eating. And maybe somebody doesn't want to get on the camera shot. But it also allows us to be able to, you know, get in here and get our food right away. And they were really accommodating.
When you talk about people kind of begrudgingly holding on to nostalgia.
Is there somebody talking to you?
Might be you. Oh, me?
Oh, there you go. There we go.
Okay. Well, like I said, you talk about begrudgingly pushing nostalgia out of the way with the Alpine. I think it's actually better that you preserve buildings instead of just keep building new buildings all over town. I think Alpine actually gives you, coming in here tonight, actually gives me more of a feeling of nostalgia. Brings back some good memories, and it seems like this place is really starting to take off.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, the first couple times I came in here, it felt like they were kind of still working out some of the kinks. I know Brandon, you know, I know him now, but I didn't know him very well. And I know that this is probably a new venture for him. He went to school for this, he went to school for business, but this is obviously his first time owning and running his own business. So there's some kinks and some things that he had to work through. But I'll tell you what, now I feel like they're really hitting the ground running right now, and I feel like right now they're hitting their stride. They're coming out with new items, it seems like every month. The hangover fries were something that really caught my attention. I'm going to give these babies a try. I'm eyeballing them here. And I got the brown gravy. Goodness. And then the cheese curds. I've had the cheese curds before. Oh, yeah. The gravy with the cheese curd. Tommy, come on now. You said you were a big fan of poutine.
Yeah, poutine's a...
That's pretty much what this is, right?
It's a food truck dish from Canada. You can get out on the West Coast, but like you said, a lot of food trucks will sell cheese curds with gravy, potatoes, and the eggs are a good take on it too. Definitely, you feel the hangover vibe with it.
Right? Exactly. So, you say they do it with potatoes. Is this always with fries, or is it like...
Usually French fries, but
usually French fries?
Usually covered with truffles, or... Which, kind of they do a take on their signature fries, too. With Parmesan, other seasonings. I really like those.
Oh, the standout fries? Yeah, I get those. Chelsea and I get those pretty much every time we come here. As you can tell, Chelsea's munching on those right now. So those are really good with the Parmesan cheese, the herbs, the spice. It's like so good. So with the standout fries, you got boneless chunks tonight. Tell me, what's your first impression?
Well, the main thing that I always look for whenever I'm big into barbecue, and wings are a pretty hard thing to mess up. The fact that they make their own sauces is the one thing that always stands out to me more than anything. I go to a lot of barbecue food trucks and stuff, and they'll just have Sweet Baby Ray's laying out. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you lose a signature touch when you don't incorporate your own sauce.
Right.
So, I mean, the fact that they have their own signature sauces gives it a different option for wings, because everyone's got a wing night. But where else are you going to get hand-spun wings with their own sauces? I mean,
and one thing Brandon was telling me before we came on, I got here about 9:30 because I wanted to talk to him about what he wanted me to talk about. And he kind of said, do your own thing, man. I want you to give your honest opinion of this place. But he did tell me that, the one thing he wanted us to push was everything's fresh.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that is obvious when you actually try this stuff. I mean, the fries are fresh. They're hand-cut fries. He's got boxes of Idaho potatoes sitting right behind the counter. Your eyeball. This stuff's fresh. They're cutting their own potatoes here. And then he was telling us that the chicken, never frozen, hand-breaded. Yeah, he's saying their homemade barbecue sauce is killer. What do you think? You got it mixed with hot sauce. So that's not technically on the menu, but they do have hot sauce. They have barbecue sauce, so mix it up for you.
They're accommodating.
Very nice.
Now, I do have to apologize. Usually, when you hear us together on the air, there's no camera in front of us. I'm usually munching on ice off to the side while Nate carries the load. So now I'm kind of on camera and guilty, so I'm going to put that down.
All right, so I think these babies might have cooled down a little bit. I'm going to give these a try. The duck bacon and sweet corn wontons. Now, these are served with their house-made fiery ginger sauce. All right? So
Not duck butter?
Oh, no. No. Not duck sauce either. No duck sauce, no duck butter. So here we have the duck bacon and sweet corn wontons.
It's a southern dialect. Huh?
Bro.
Yeah, I think that's what that looked like.
That fiery ginger sauce? Dude, I never knew I liked ginger that much.
Well, I've dealt with some fiery ginger. It tastes pretty good.
That one didn't leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. So, the duck bacon, you can definitely taste a difference in the bacon. It's got more of a, almost like a, I want to say a smoky flavor to it. Like, obviously bacon's smoked, but this has like a, I don't know, like a natural smoke to it.
That's kind of one of those meats that you cook down so it's a little bit thicker. So just like with barbecue and pork, that used to be considered a poor man's meat or just a throwaway cut. And then once they've learned that if you smoke it down and it tenderizes, that's the meat they want to use on the duck. Low and slow, baby, and that seems to be what they do here.
So that's an honest review. I went back for seconds. This is just, those are phenomenal. And it's a new item. They just rolled it out on the menu. The duck bacon and sweet corn wontons. You get 4 in an order. for $5.99 here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Another thing he wanted me to kind of help him out with, the only two things he really mentioned to me. One, freshness. But the other thing he wanted me to mention was the delivery. Actually, right now they're running a special on delivery. Until June 21st, actually, if I saw it on Facebook correctly, until June 21st, delivery's free. Is that right, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so right now they have a special going on for delivery. And if you're watching this live right now and you're thinking to yourself, man, all this stuff sounds so good, they're open until 12:30. Friday and Saturday, they're open until 12:30 in the morning. So call in your order. Phone number is 567-268-9268. Get your order in. Get those duck bacon and sweet corn wontons with the fiery ginger sauce. I really recommend that fiery ginger sauce. Did you get any of that sauce yet? Did you get that? That is so good. But the delivery is what he really wanted to help push a little bit. And I think a lot of people are taking this for granted that this is here. Where else in town, like, until this place was here, you didn't really have an option to get a burger delivered other than, what, Golden Crown?
Think of it this way. We're on a Facebook live chat. Like, this is stuff that was in its infancy about 9 months ago. And the fact that he, the owner watches this stuff and stays up to date with, social media and how, broadcasts and everything are streamed nowadays. I mean, he's ahead of the curve. And delivery options, I mean, how often do you actually go out to the store instead of you shopping on Amazon and have that stuff delivered to you? I mean, food is one of those things that really is a luxury to have delivered, and I don't really think that's enough. There's enough restaurants that accommodate that need. I mean, pizza.
Oh yeah, and pizza, and that's pretty much the only option you have in this area is pizza delivery. You know?
Yeah, I love pizza.
No, I'm not gonna knock pizza. Trust me, we'll do a pizza review. I'm kind of throwing it out there that I really like Reno's. I'd love to get an invitation to Reno's to do a local review there because I really like Reno's. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there if any of the Reno family kind of might want to extend the invitation. I love pizza, but we're here at Benchwarmers, and the delivery option is something that I feel like is really unique that you don't find at many like gastro pubs, I guess is what you want to call this kind of a place. Now, that's something else we can talk about, Tommy. A lot of people, when they talk about this place, and when I talk about this place with them, they ask, the question I always get, yeah, but when are they getting beer? When are they getting beer? And I've seen the sign on the cooler since they opened. It says beer coming soon. Well, I asked Brandon before we came on the air, and I asked him, I said, is that something we can talk about? He said, yeah, absolutely. The paperwork's been submitted, everything's signed, submitted, everything's good to go. They're thinking at the beginning of September they should have beer. So, and they don't know if it's, at this point, when they're starting off, they're going to do just bottles, cans, but the direction that they could go from there is pretty much endless. They're kind of keeping it open. So, I'm pretty excited about that. Beginning of September, right around what? Football season. So it's perfect timing. Perfect timing. They'll be having beer right around football season. TVs everywhere in a sports bar, and it's not a chain sports bar. And these guys are going to be open on Sundays. That's one of the things. Madison's is kind of a sports bar. I work there, but they're not open on Sundays. This place is going to be open every Sunday at 11 o'clock in the morning. You can come in here and watch a Browns game, have a beer, and snag some hangover fries because you're going to need them.
Well, from end to end, Tiffin's about 6 miles long, and for part of the community, you have to drive 4 miles to go get yourself something to eat.
Exactly.
Be able to sit down and have a beer and enjoy it without having to worry about going all the way across town, or having options right here in your local area. Just be able to walk down or come down during football season and be able to relax and stay local. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This is a very centralized location over here. So this side of town is not a place really. It's a lot of fast traffic out there on Market where all the big businesses. But you just take a little turn there on Allen Street, and right there at the classic Alpine location, It's still standing.
And speaking of the classic Alpine, I'm looking at the menu, all right, and we'll go over some of the stuff on the menu here in just a second. But at first, he's talking about the Alpine. We got to talk about it. I got to ask. Everybody's asking, do they have the cutlet? Yes. They have the classic breaded cutlet sandwich.
That was the only thing that I thought was off limits.
Right? Exactly. Nothing's sacred anymore, Tommy. We know this. Come on.
Right
So,
there, in black and white.
The Alpine. See that? Yeah. It's still here. The breaded cutlet sandwich, classic, backed by popular demand. There we go.
Wrap up. That's all you need to know.
Absolutely.
Alpine.
So that's a classic, and that's on the menu. But then you look at the rest of the menu, and one thing I've seen someone suggest on the comments already, Chelsea had it the other day, the Italian Stallion. This is one that caught my eye right away. Listen to this.
Oh, thanks.
Genoa salami, capicola, local provolone cheese, house Italian dressing, red onion, pepperoncini, and tomato.
The culture here is amazing because this is one of the only places that have gone to that just a capicola and they look at you funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that they're like, oh yeah, capicola's cut here, man.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
It is good stuff, and I know these are quality meats because I know where the meats are coming from. A good friend of mine is actually the sales representative for the distributor for here, Ryan Duffy, and he's actually tuned into a couple of the videos so far, and I know that he represents a quality company. I know they have quality meats, so this is definitely top-notch, top-shelf meats here, and like I said, you got capicola, you got salami. I'm looking at some other ones, like look at the Benchwarmer, all right? This one's got pastrami on it, house-made coleslaw, provolone cheese, and then they put French fries on top, and that's served on sourdough bread. That sounds delicious. But then you keep going down the list, and here's one that like really caught my eye. The Gobbler. This is the first sandwich I had when I came in here. Listen to this. You ready for this? Roast turkey, stuffing, tangy cranberry aioli. And it also has you can also put brown gravy on that if you'd like to. Good Lord. That's like your leftover Thanksgiving sandwich that you have like the day after Thanksgiving. But every day, you can have it every day. You just come down here to Benchwarmers and snag up the Gobbler.
I don't think I've ever made myself a Dagwood out of my leftover.
Oh, you've never done that? Oh my goodness. No, I never have leftover cranberry because I don't really mess with cranberry stuff. But that actually sets the sandwich off. The cranberry aioli is like, I'm telling you, it's something else. It really is. It is really good. And then they have jumbo wings, so it's not just your little tiny itty bitty wings. Like, honestly, here's an honest review. I love Pizza Hut's sauces. Okay, their sauces are legit, but their wings are awful. They're like this damn big. They're tiny. They get like a little piece of meat on there, and it's like, These are huge, like ginormous wings. I've had them before. They're legit. So I highly recommend the wings. Tommy's doing the boneless wings tonight. That's what Chelsea actually got. What'd you think? Which one did you get? Which sauce? The buffalo sauce? What'd you think? Was it nice and buffalo-y? I like it. So Greg,
did you have blue cheese?
She did. And that's one of the only sauces that aren't house made is the ranch and the blue cheese. But every other sauce on the menu is house made.
Here's the problem. Do you eat buffalo wings with ranch? Any other type of wing, that's fine. But buffalo, there's a reason why in Buffalo they serve it with the blue cheese. So stop with the ranch.
So stop. But Ohio, come on, man. People drink ranch by the gallon in Ohio. Like, they just serve it in pitchers at certain restaurants. At least some people seem like they ask for it in pitchers anyways.
Yeah. How many times have I raised holy hell over the phone about
ranch works too for you?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Guess what they just did? There's something else on the menu that I've been eyeballing. and it's on the board. They just added these things recently, and they're evil. Deep fried Twinkies. Can you believe that? Look at those babies.
He's doing quality.
All right, well, Chelsea wants those, so I'm gonna let her have those. You better save me some of that.
Well, I'm only gonna eat one.
All right, fair enough. So there's two. She's only gonna eat one. All right, so we got into the food. I got the hangover fries. Greggy, what'd you think of the hangover fries?
Dude, they were really good. Honestly, I got the small one, and I couldn't even finish like half
Yeah.
of it. Like,
I want to remind what I showed you here. This is a small order of hangover fries. See my big ass hand? Look at that. That is a small order. $5.99 for the small order. $10 for the big one. I can't even imagine what the big one looks like. That's ridiculous. So, I got the duck bacon and the sweet corn wontons. Delicious. Highly recommend it. Once again, they're open until 12:30 tonight. I did this at 10 o'clock. Their dining room's closed. Thankfully, they're accommodating for us because Tommy didn't get off until 8 o'clock. He works all the way over in Upper, so I knew we weren't going to get here till at least 9:30. Got in here about 9:45, so...
When you're on with the big dogs, you get some clout.
That's right. So, thank you to everybody here for being so accommodating. Of course, Gina, every time I come in here, she's nothing short of amazing. Always accommodating. One of my favorite servers in the area, so thanks to Gina Noggle for all of her hospitality every time I come in here. It makes it very welcoming and makes me want to come back. Or is it the cheese curds? It's probably a little bit of both. So, all right, let's talk about some sports topics here. We'll get back and talk a little bit more about Benchwarmers here in a minute before we sign off.
You always
But-
expose me for sports.
Yeah, we've got to. Well, I got you here. Come on now. That's what we do. You know.
Okay.
So, first of all, let's talk about this fight. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, August 26th. It's finally agreed upon. It's finally going to be real. It's a thing. It's happening. I'm kind of pissed that it's happening on August 26th, but regardless, it's happening. What do you think about this? Is this a cash grab? Is that all this is?
I mean, it's an attraction. It's just like what every great promoter has always done. They find two household names, and in today's MMA market and boxing, who else do you know besides those names? There's not really much star power out there. So is it a money grab? Of course it is, but it's also exposure. It's exposure for an MMA brand, exposure for boxing, and it really does kind of put to the test, you know, what would happen if, you know, these two athletes, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? In my opinion, though, I mean, all the marks are going to chill out those dollars. They're going to buy those pay-per-views. Just like
$100 a pay-per-view.
Just like they always have. But here's the thing, too. When people actually watch boxing, they didn't care to throw $60 to watch a minute and 23-second Mike Tyson fight either.
True.
So, I mean, people would pay for sport and spectacle. Now, what do I think is going to happen? It's going to be just like the Pacquiao fight. He's just going to play defense for 12 rounds and go home and cash that check.
Yep.
Conor McGregor's not going to land anything on him. He's going to hope to land some lucky haymaker and hope that he's going to go home.
How do you feel about Floyd Mayweather going to possibly be breaking Rocky Marciano's record?
Who do you beat?
Exactly.
Rocky Marciano, he didn't pick his fights. That's the difference between the greats and today's sports, is they try to make stars out of people when fighters, they made stars out of themselves. Muhammad Ali, he had the gift of gab, he backed it up. He didn't choose who he fought, though. I mean, of course, he probably had some input on where the things were going to go, just like he's a businessman.
Yep.
And when you're the top dog, just like in the NBA with LeBron James, Michael Jordan, you know, any of those past greats, no matter the sport, when you're that great of an individual, you get to call the shots.
Yeah.
And Floyd Mayweather, he called his shot. I mean, the term was actually coined from Babe Ruth, calling his shot. Calling your shots, and that's all he's ever done. So Conor McGregor, I mean, just again, apples to oranges. You put Floyd Mayweather in a cage with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor would eat him alive in 30 seconds.
Yep.
You know,
But that's not what's going to happen.
yeah, they're gonna flash the leather, and Floyd Mayweather's gonna duck everything and just unleash. I think Conor can go 12 rounds with him.
You really think Conor can go 12 rounds?
Absolutely.
All right.
Because Floyd, you know, he dances now. He don't attack.
This is true.
He just doesn't get hit. You can't get. He does not get hit. 42 and 0, 43 and 0. Just doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
Half an hour.
But again, all people want to buy that pay-per-view for is to see Conor McGregor land that one big punch.
And you know it's going to happen. You know he's going to get a couple of them. Because, see, you go back and watch. All right, I went back and watched the fight because I seen a video somebody posted on Facebook about
Floyd Mayweather and the Big Show.
It was Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. All right, and you go back and watch that fight, and De La Hoya schooled him in that fight. I mean, unleashed a barrage, and Floyd really didn't do a whole lot of attacking in that fight. It was very defensive, but also landed shots when he needed to in order to win in a decision. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking at this fight and I'm thinking to myself, if Conor can get in there in the first few rounds and get some really good blows. I don't know. I'm not much of a boxing fan, but I feel like this could be a pretty short match because Floyd Mayweather's 40 years old now, isn't he?
Yeah, but
He hadn't fought in 3 years, right?
It's just like I said.
Everybody thought he was retired.
He's never been a guy that flashes that big punch.
Conor McGregor's 28, 29, something
He
like
knocks people out. He's a cerebral assassin. He's cold and calculating. And Conor McGregor, I mean, it's a completely different ball game.
All right.
I mean, that's a lot of people really don't understand that big difference between people who wrestle or have a martial arts background in comparison to your everyday Joe. I mean, it really is a different animal because those people get taught from day one how to take people down, take you off your feet, you know, slip past your guard, and find a way to hurt you.
All right. Yeah.
Mixed martial arts, MMA, that stuff.
Yeah. They're looking for that any kind of an opening they can get.
And for a guy who's 40 years old, like Floyd Mayweather, it's not his fault that boxing was like one of the only thing that you could train in, or judo was the only discipline you could train in. This MMA stuff, there are some killers coming up.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about kids who were 7 years old back in 2006 in the heyday of,
Chuck Liddell
and these big names.
Tito Ortiz.
And they grew up watching that. Now those guys are training and they're 21, 20 years old. These people, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Fight games, real scary. That's why I think
Everything's changed.
Conor McGregor, you have to learn, if you're a wrestler, you got to learn how to box. You got to learn how to fight because you're easily going to be able to take somebody off their feet. Or you're going to be able to stand, you're going to be able to close that gap. You're going to be able to shoot in without taking one upside the head. That's one thing they don't teach you on the mat.
Truth. It's gonna be an interesting fight. I just feel like, I don't feel like McGregor's got much of a shot. I don't. I'll just be honest. I mean, if he can get in there in the first 4 or 5 rounds and get some kind of a knockout blow, that's the only shot this guy's got. If this goes 12 rounds, Mayweather's wiping the floor with this kid. I'm just saying. He hasn't fought in 3 years. He's 40 years old. Doesn't matter. McGregor's not a boxer. He's an MMA fighter. And you can't take this to the ground. You know what I mean? Like, I know his specialty's fists, impact fighting, but I feel like this is that's a different ball game. So let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the Cavs. Can we talk a little bit about this troll job from Draymond Green? Tommy, what the hell, man? Did you see the shirt? The quickie shirt?
Draymond's just like that.
And then he's like, oh, no, LeBron's family. We're family. We're family.
Yeah, he's that ex that sends you a friend request 5 weeks after he unfriends you.
For real.
So, I mean, It was a troll job quickie. That is what it was.
Well, we got the arena's called the Q. We got him out of here quick.
My only thing I'll say and he continued on during the live celebration talking about who created a super team. You got 2 number 1s on you. Who are we? Yeah, who are you? You're the guy who had to sit in the locker room after Game 7 last year and call up KD because you were afraid that you were going to get your asses whooped this year too by Oklahoma and you weren't going to make it to the finals. They were up 3-1 on you last year. Truth. All right, so I don't care what you say. Super team, they're not a. You take LeBron out of the equation. I mean, that was exactly what happened. -12 on the 4, Game 3, without LeBron. Guess what? Golden State goes on an 11-0 run, closes out that game. They took one in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that scenario doesn't change at 2-2.
Yeah.
Tell me that game they took at the Oracle doesn't. It's just, could have been, but we'll be there next year.
Exactly.
And like I said,
not going anywhere.
Whether you add, subtract, it doesn't matter. It's LeBron isn't going anywhere. It's just like Jordan. You keep that option open at the end of the season. That way what are you going to bring me this year? What are you going to add? What weapons are you going to allow? People often, especially you, get hot at me when I say LeBron goes into business mode. And it's not a knock on him.
It's what he is.
What he does is he weighs the situations, and you see it as he crosses the timeline. He calls out the offense. Popovich said it last year. I'm glad our GM isn't in the locker room. It's a true statement. But it's just like I said at the top of your broadcast. When you're on top of the mountain, you get to call your shot.
So he's on top of the mountain, but he's back in the gym the very next day after Game 5?
Absolutely. He's not waking up on... When he won, do you know what he did the next day? Was he waking up on Kyrie Irving's couch?
Nope.
That's the difference.
There you go. And this is the point that I keep trying to make to Cavs fans is now all their redemption is they've redeemed themselves, right? They got the redemption for the 3-1 loss. And now they got KD. And KD got his ring. So now, where's that fire going to come from for the Warriors next year? Where are they going to get that fire from? You know where I feel like it's going to be the Cavs year again. Next year they're going to take it again. And there's a damn good chance they take the next 2. Because I'll say this. They're not just going to sit on their hands this offseason. There's a move coming. Maybe a couple. And I don't think it's going to be a big move either. Honestly, Tommy, I really don't feel like they're going to shake up that core. They're going to try to solidify that bench with some younger, more athletic players that can come off and actually relieve LeBron. Because that's the biggest thing that they were missing this year is when as soon as LeBron came off the floor, they had nothing.
Here's the hard truth about the Eastern Conference is LeBron and company's going to be able to clean up. You can't guarantee seeding in the Western Conference, you're not guaranteed anything. You still got to go through Houston, you still got to go through the Spurs, and you don't know what type of moves they're going to make in the offseason. So, I mean, in this so-called era of super teams,
there ain't no super team.
I don't know if they're going to, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Will the Golden State Warriors, do I see them being at the finals next year? Absolutely. This is a team that before it's said and done is going to at least add 2 or 3 championships. But their only problem was in their dynasty and in their timeline is that it intertwined with LeBron James' legacy.
Yep.
King's not done.
Well, I saw this quote from Allen Iverson the other day when they were talking to Allen Iverson. They asked him if he was happy that KD got his ring. And he says, yeah, I'm real happy he got his ring because LeBron's not done. He needed to get his when he had a chance. When the Cavs were
there
weak.
it is. That was when I tuned into that live stream while Draymond was there. And now LeBron is addressing his comments. And again,
that's what she said. Come on, LeBron, man. You're 32, dude. Take the high road.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
I know. They will be back. You're right. I just don't think it's his place to really address those kind of comments.
Well,
Like, just let it go.
The Indians
You
dropped
control
the
them
ball.
next year by wearing another shirt. You know.
The Cavs, they dropped the ball. The Browns are coming to finish
You don't
the
want to
job.
Hey, all right.
You don't want to seem like you got pumped out.
Truth.
That's why he said, that's why he said something. Because you don't want Draymond wearing his
But
sit-back
you
shit,
don't
that's
need
enough.
the last word on, just the
I know,
Lions
but
don't
I'm
worry
just saying-
themselves
I'm
over the
just saying
opinion
the
of
first
sheep.
article I read was all about, Draymond did this.
All right,
Draymond
so-
did this. Then somebody was like, okay, LeBron finally said
Yeah.
So enough sports. We're done. I'm kind of putting this basketball season to bed. I got to get into this before we sign off. I know.
Did you hear
so
the Cavs
hard.
side?
Dude, it's going to be every
There's
time.
always going to be something new.
I'm going to put it to bed every episode, and then we're going to bring it up another one.
We'll wake it back up.
We'll wake it back up. But I got to get into this deep fried Twinkie here. So, got some chocolate syrup, some powdered sugar. I had to get it before it started to get cold. Chelsea already ate one. Good Lord. That is delicious. I usually don't like Twinkies. But,
Did you hear about
Wow.
the Ace Ventura reboot?
no.
Nah, I made that up.
I was going to say no.
Fake news.
Did you hear Kevin Durant's in Space Jam 2?
On the
He's going to play on the Monstars. He's got to do what's good for him.
Come on, man.
All right, so I think we're about done here. I don't want to waste any more of these guys' time. We're already after hours by 45 minutes here in the dining room. So is there anything else you wanted to talk about here, Tommy? What's your overall impression of Benchwarmers here?
It's just like without the camera, it's the same deal. You can just come in and relax and enjoy yourselves and enjoy some good food, man. Like I said, it's ahead of its time over here, or ahead of where everyone else is at, because you don't find stuff like this, these West Coast items, in a little area like this.
No, you don't find. I've hardly
I'm very
seen
impressed that
items
way.
like these. What the heck? All right. So I want to remind everybody about the hours. I'm looking at the menu here. And they, conveniently enough, all their menus are take-home menus. So you can, like, if you're sitting here at the table and you're about to order your food, you can just take this baby home with you, and that way you know what's available. And it's got the phone number right there on the front to call in for delivery or a carry-out order. And then, as it mentions here, the dine-in does close at 10 o'clock every day. I do feel like an asshole because I'm here, it's almost 11 o'clock. But their delivery is open until 12:30 in the morning. And on Friday and Saturday, it's open, well, I don't know about during the summer. I think their summer hours are different. But they are open until 12:30 in the morning tonight. I know that much. That's late enough. I mean, 1:30, that's pushing it. You ever order food at 1:30, Tommy?
Not a long time.
It's been a while.
It's a young man's
That's back in the day. So, but wings at 12:30 in the morning, wings at midnight. I mean, that's just perfect, and you don't even have to make them yourself. Call it in, and no DUIs. And they also have really, really, really good cookies. Chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, white chocolate, macadamia nut. They're like thick, really good, big cookies. They're soft cookies. And then, like I mentioned, the deep fried Twinkies for dessert. They got really good salads. My youngest son, is allergic to milk and eggs. So when he comes here, instead of the fries, he likes to get a side salad. And I noticed that when he gets a salad, it's not just iceberg lettuce. It's like real greens. They're spring greens. It's a nice field mix. So I imagine that the rest of their salads are probably used with the same lettuce. So they've got some pretty good options here. A Greek salad, Caesar salad, and then a house salad as well. So some refreshing summer options here. And if you missed anything, or maybe you want to check it out for yourself, check out their Facebook page right now. Like I mentioned, on their Facebook page, they're running a special. It started this past Wednesday, and it runs all the way until next Wednesday. They have free delivery right now. So any order, free delivery, and you can combine that with other specials and offers. So give them a call. Once again, 567-268-9268, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. This has been Mullin It Over, episode 5. I want to thank Tommy Cash for joining me. Mr. Cashman, thanks again. Appreciate everything.
I'll catch your ass down the road.
And thanks to Brandon Banks, Shearer for the invitation. And thanks to Benchwarmers for all the hospitality. Once again, Mullin It Over, episode 5, signing off from Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Thanks, guys.